To match start, 5 minutes.
Hi and welcome to LaneSmash, game number 3, WFAT versus KATS on Amerish, the Heyoka, no, sorry, the Crux mining to Crux headquarters lane. I am the main cast Dot, and with me tonight is Bormy.
Yeah, hello.
And so basically, we're going to go over, first of all, the scores from the first two games. Yesterday saw two games. We had Date versus OKTZ. OKTZ winning 5-0. Also, yesterday we had Dark versus Too Late, with Too Late managing to get away with 4-1 over Dark.
Yes, so we had some really clear matches yesterday. Let's see if that continues today, or if we are having a difference.
And speaking of today, this is the WFAT versus KATS game, as mentioned earlier. And later on tonight, we do have the Turtle versus Prey, I guess it is.
Yeah, Jotl and Prey,
Prey, yeah, Prey for Help, yeah.
Mhm.
At 20 UTC. So only maybe an hour or so after this game, stay tuned. That's gonna be streamed on this channel as well. Going into the lane info itself, first of all, we're going to have WFAT starting as TR in the east, Crux manning operation, with KATS playing as VS in the west as Crux headquarters. As usual, this, like most lanes, has a neutral base. This time around, it's going to be Amrish Arch Reserve, which on this map is denoted by the VS color, despite the factions themselves. Going into the game itself. Excuse my Johnny H5 drawing here, gents. So basically, again, we have WFAT in the east at Crux mining operation. We have Armory Shark, the neutral base, and we have KATS in the west at Crux headquarters. From people who have been watching the previous games, maybe the practice games, you know that for people in the west, they have to go through Blackhead Tungsten Mine, the long, windy road to Amric Sharks, whereas the guys at Crux Mining have to pretty much go cross country to get their vehicles to Amric Sharks. We've seen in previous pack matches that the guys who start in the east normally get asunder around the double stack and that kind of thing. But as most LaneSmash games go, it's always going to come down to that initial airball, that initial fight, and obviously with the neutral base being in the middle, it's all a case of who gets it first, and more important, more regularly, we always see that within the last 10 to 20 seconds, someone or the other team will try and steal it. So we'll see how that goes down. WFAT and KATS, Bormy, like, how do you think it's going to go down?
Yeah, to be honest, I think a different year will just make the individual experience and skill tree. Just being honest here, from what I know, that KATS roster will be pretty strong. They are having one of the best infantry players. They are having good pilots, definitely. Depends on which roster they are bringing today with 24 players. And I think the armor will also be good. So WFAT definitely has to watch not getting cheesed too much on this lane, since that is just the easiest thing to do here, or the best thing you can do, just cheesing a lot. WFAT definitely has also some good players, but I think there's just still a gap that could make the difference here.
Yeah, for this game, I am expecting a lot of cheese, like serious amounts of cheese. I think this game could be one of those games where we just see maximum cheese from both teams. KATS is, quite made up of a lot of players, a lot of people who are experienced in the LaneSmash. I think a lot of people used to play for Stark and other, like the Jaeger community, that kind of thing.
1 minute till match start. The match will start on the next nanite tick. Again, 1 minute, it will start on the next nanite tick.
Go look at the starting force composition of both teams. Starting over with WFAT, we're going to look at here. They have quite a few mosquitoes in the air. They do have some very pretty pink Sunderers, quite a few prowlers here on the road. Obviously, they're going to have to go cross country to get to Amrish Art Preserve. Zooming.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Can I get there just in time to see Crux? What do the KATS have?
Pretty much the same, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Quite a lot of scythes. What do they have on the ground? They do have Again, a few Sunderers, a few Mag Riders. It does
15
seem that
seconds.
TR do have the numerical superiority of the ground in terms of vehicles, but
8,
not too sure
7,
about the end. Not seeing how
6,
Galaxies or Honda
5,
Valkyries from either
4,
team. We'll
3,
see who gets on
2,
the point
1.
first.
Match start.
And that is a match start here. Both teams are getting underway here. No doubt it's going to be a massive airball as per usual. The VS Armor Column already making their way down through Black Shark, Tungsten Mine, all the way to Armory Sharks. Let's go see over to the TR how far their Armor Column has got. Maybe they'll meet in the middle, who knows. Obviously, as predicted, the TR have to get across cross country here. Not the most smoothest of terrains. As you can see, WFAT in the air is much like WFAT on the ground, crashes and burning. VS Galaxy coming in.
Yeah,
The Prowls are already making
here.
their work to it. The Galaxy has crashed. A few VS have managed to get onto the eye building above the capture point here. Quite a few maxes. It would seem that VS are going to get on the point first, but have they placed the beacon? Have they allowed any sort of reinforcement to come in? And this is the thing about this base. If you allow one team to get cheese on that point, it's going to be very hard. I mean, obviously, TR trying to get a very nice pink Sundra to the double stack here, something that we've seen in multiple previous games. It seems to be a very common place to get a Sundra. And if I was the VS Air, I would think, well, there's going to be a Sundra here. Let's try and get this right before the TR can try and, force themselves onto the capture point. VS using their beacon on the eastern side of the cave is intercepted by a Max here. TR trying to get rid of that. They need to focus on that beacon to prevent that reinforcement from coming in. TJ Heavy taking out that beacon. Yeah, I do have two Sunderers. They could maybe get one of those Sunderers to come and try and start pummeling the capture point on the road itself. We do see that the TR armor has finally met the VS armor here. Obviously, as we saw in the beginning, TR did have a lot more vehicles than the VS. How is it going in the air? It does seem that both sides are very reluctant to try and get in amongst each other, staying at a very wide distance.
Quite equal. Still on distant fight.
VS harassing the vehicles here. The Mosquitoes are very hesitant to try and commit to try and support the ground here, but VS are pushing ahead into TR territory, going over to the point now. We do see that KATS do have the A point now with 2 minutes 34 left.
See if they have a stealth Sundra inside that base. No, it looks like they don't have any respawn options here for the point. Just having those maxes up.
You do see that there's not actually that many VS on the point here. They do have a few maxes, but yeah, do have a Sundra. They need to be getting ready for that last 30 seconds push onto the capture point. Seeing that the TR armor are harassing the VS progression down towards the vehicle bunker. Not many TR vehicles remain though. They are running out of prowlers.
Yep. No, we don't see any more really mosquitoes in the air. A couple of them respawning, but for the moment, VS is having control on the neutral base here with the air.
TR need to focus down these three mag riders because once those Sunderas go, they're going to move to double stack and deal with their spawn Sundera here. TR trying to get onto the capture point here. Without escort, they're going to get harassed by those sides here. We do see a few pilots bailing, trying to get onto the capture point. 1 minute 15 on the capture point. TR trying to make their way down on the undermost walkway.
Big
to the
push now into the cave here. A lot of infantry.
TR are getting bundled up here. The Sives will. This is a feast of Sives.
Absolutely ground pounded here.
"50 seconds on the capture point. Those Sives are pummeling those Thunderers, not allowing TR to spawn here.
That looks like a wipe here. Country-wise on the neutral base.
the VS Air Force are
Oh.
pretty much decimating that push there. Very unfortunate for TR. Going across to the next base as we do have 10 seconds left on the timer. Let us see if any VS have managed to make their way to the double stack capture point. We do see sides are already suppressing the spawn room to try and prevent TR from getting anywhere near the building. With ample sides available.
Already flipping, yeah. So
all
flip is already there.
All it takes is a snipe of a beacon. Some TR have managed to get onto the double stacks using the eastern teleporter here. It seems the VS are using the snipes to try and prevent. Oh, you just seen that TR do have a lot of anti-air sunderers here to try and force some sort of protection for the infantry. TR managing to take out the VS on the capture point, but those snipes are still in the air. With that heavy anti-air, it might keep Symes at bay, but if they're pulling Sunderers, where are they going to go? Are they going to push back to Amrishad, or are they going to set out around the capture point?
All driving into that base here now. So they are fully preparing for the moment for the defense. There is literally no one of TR in the Amrishad's neutral base X.
VS who have beacons on the western side of the capture point here. TR vehicle are slowly coming in, but they're still getting harassed by these Symes. They need to focus down these Symes one by one, and at the same time try and invest in getting someone to back out this base here, because if the VS commit to this base, it's a perfect chance for TR to try and get a back cap going. But they have obviously invested a lot of nanites on pulling those Thunderers. And retrospectively, the more Symes they kill, the more VS have for infantry.
Okay, now we have those mech riders arriving more. First mech rider is already inside the base.
VS are pulling a Sunderer here. The beacon hasn't been used just yet. Infantry deploying on the western edge on the ridge here. Those Thunderers need to essentially deal with that enemy Sunderer the best they can. Because at the moment the Symes are just going to keep distracting, and the TR are going to have to deal with the VS eventually it comes. A few VS are actually in the building here. Are TR aware of this?
One mech rider is about to destroy like half of the Sunderers placed on stack building here.
TR Stunner trying to switch to deal with the small incursion by VS, but the Symes are using the opportunity to try and get a few more damage on the Sunderers. I do feel that TR were prepared to fall back to this base.
Cyrus literally shredding all the infantry away here with the max unit. That's
absolute heresy here. Bob Scuttle without his max pair. Very weak TR max. Not many TR infantry remain, but they do have something to spawn back on. The beacon on the west, beacon on the east for VS here next to the eastern TR spawn room. Going over, we see Ollie. Ollie is maybe going to get a back cap here. No, he is caught asleep.
Already done. Yeah. Okay, there we have the infantry terminal from VS at least. Good suggestion here, and pulling those maxes here next to the stack building.
And this is the thing, the TR has been focusing on the anti-air, but they're going to fall pretty quickly to these mag riders without any critical point. Once that anti-air defense goes, those sides are going to come in and they're going to ruin any chance that TR.
Yeah, now with those two mech riders here, they're destroying everything around here. And having those infantry terminal next to the point. Okay, let's see. No backups, so now there could be the option for VS here. I think they are still not enough.
Looking at the numbers here roughly, the pulp kind of looks equal, but it seems that most of the VS are in the air in Liberated and Symes, and in vehicle there's not that much infantry. It seems that every single window is covered by VS here. TPA getting thrown left, right and centre. 2 mag rines on the hill, preventing the Eastern spawn from coming in. You know, VS are actually on the capture point here. Yeah, managing to hold that catch point. Has there been a back cap over here? Still no back cap.
Oh. That would be the moment for backup here. Absolutely not.
LaneSmash is all about timing, and with timing we always see like the unfortunate circumstance and teams like essentially losing out if they were maybe 5 seconds later or 5 seconds early, you know. And will we see TR make a big play for the capture? Because VS are slowly encroaching on this base itself. Yeah, obviously having to commit to a very extensive defense here, being punished by all sides. And the more people they have to dedicate to defending the capture point, the less people they have to commit to a back cap. But this is taking up a lot of VS to try and capture this capture point here. Have they yet to get a back cap going?
VS is still not completely inside the building. It's on its way upstairs here. They're having 1 max unit. What I tried to do is sending out someone from Crux Mining with a Cloak Flash, if it's not possible from this base here, because yeah, the spawn rooms are just being ground pounded. Just getting a Cloak Flash from Crux Mining here, driving to Emmerich, even if it's a long way. So
VS landing on the roof with a few infantry. They're going to try and make a push to the roof maybe. Yeah. Maybe one of the first KATS major attacks here. You just think that they are focusing on just trying to get as many kills as possible. VS trying to penetrate the upper stairwell here. Very much a blob of TR in the corner here. TR getting pushed by multiple stairwells here. 1 C4 and that TR blob is done for. I feel like TR needs to like kind of counter attack here just to try and get himself some breathing space. But obviously with every single window occupied by either a vehicle or even a few light assaults and heavies, it makes it very awkward for TR to maneuver here in the building. And every angle seems to be covered by VS.
Oh,
but
okay,
as things start thinking they're getting desperate for TR, haven't they got a back cap? Now that VS start committing.
If not, point will flip soon. Once the max is down here from TR.
And this is the perfect opportunity for a back cap as VS have to commit.
Go.
How do we get a back cap going?
VS is still not completely inside. No, the options for WFAT on its way are not that good here to reach the point again. Probably by doing a galaxy drop.
VS do have the point, but they still have to hold it for 3 minutes 25 seconds. TR still have a hard spawn. As we saw there, VS having to get out of their vehicles on their side to try and make a decent push onto a capture point. Well done to TR for holding as long as they did under that kind of stress. But what we have to wait now and see what the TR response will be.
Yeah.
I doubt it'll come from the spawn. It's probably going to come from their home base.
They're already preparing some cheese on their home base here. This is what I can see. Also having a max unit in the spawn on Crux.
And this is the thing, it's WFAT needs to go on the offensive. Like once they set up that cheese, they should still have plenty of time to try and get a last minute resecure, but the longer they wait, the longer they're going to have to wait to flip the point back in reverse, you know? 2 minutes 40, so the longer they wait,
Yeah, so this is pretty much like they already gave up Shadespire here. They just want to avoid getting a 3-0 in the first half here. But this is clear. They are setting up for the fight here.
The
on their home
majority
base.
of VS are on the ground here. There's a few sides that they want to liberate it, but if TR were to mass pull a few ESF, they could literally get back there and do what they just had done to them. You know, a lot of ESF, lore pods, just pounding the entire double stack. Then once that vehicle's in the air are gone, use the spawn room to get back on the patch point. But it seems that TR are going to resign themselves to just setting up a lot of cheese on the B point here. There's not a lot of VS out here. They could probably come back with a few ESS, but it seems that the priority for WFAT at the moment is to go on the defensive. Still 1 minute 47 remaining. We are seeing a few VS Sunderers moving already, maybe to the next base. This would be even a greater time for a transition from TR onto this base, because as more VS start to make their way to Crux Mining, they could definitely come back. All I can fix is a Mozzie and a beacon. That's all it takes.
There is literally no population from WFAT on Shadespire right now. They are all on Crux Mining. And situation is clear here.
There's literally one Sunderer and maybe 2 infantry defending the capture point here. If they were, sorry, 3 infantry, if they were to spawn here in mass, they could probably make a break if they use the Eastern Sunderer. But this is why they need like infiltrate, that kind of thing, to try and like give that intelligence, because at the moment you have no one here to assess the situation.
Having first Mosquito back in the air again. Against around 6 sides. Oh, okay, so there we go. More than one Mosquito is up in the air. Still taking the battle here.
35 seconds on the capture here. No sign of a TR comeback here, but is any seeking Galaxies or Valkyries coming in? Maybe they crashed in typical WFAT style, who knows?
Yeah, let's see how fast KATS is now though, with reaching Crux Mining here. I don't see anything on the road. Well, okay, now see a Sunder and a Lightning moving. A couple more vehicles here.
VS are slowly moving Sunderers on the western slopes of the base itself. LaneSmash, a stealth Sunday on the western ridge. Pretty close to B. I don't think it's been spotted just yet, but that's quite a long distance from infantry to go from the Sunderer itself to the B point, but at least they have some sort of spawn here. We do see a few vehicles here, Magarider Sunderers coming down the mountain passes all the way here, trying to force their way onto the base itself. Obviously, they're bringing their own cheese. They're going to pretty much destroy those Sunderers in the capture base. No backcap still. Like, TR completely wasted that opportunity, in my opinion here. Like, literally, VS rolled out. They could have backcapped that. They could have saved that cap, I think. They've just invested their entire nanites on the defense itself, and I think WFAT has pretty much thrown that opportunity, but because they had nobody at that base, they couldn't understand the situation there. And they've just allowed VS to essentially get the initiative and keep that momentum going as soon as that capture goes through. And you see here, VS are already rolling in with their cheese. Rolling in on to the A point here with their Sunderers. PR will have to split themselves against so many different points here. They're going to be outnumbered, and all it takes is for VS to go from point to point and point and just wipe out the TR.
They just know how to do it, so having all those vehicles so fast in the base now. See how the A point building, something exploded. Yeah, that was the first Sunderer, I guess, from WFAT on the point.
We do see some TR population on the Shadespire, however. Maybe they're just waiting for it to go through, but they need to hurry up if they're going to get that back cap, and they need to commit to that back cap if they are to do so.
Point is flipping.
Do they have a beacon? Do they have any form of getting a reinforcement here? They do have a flash. Beacon. They have. But the slides are already on the way back here. TR need to drop, and start passing that beacon if it goes down. VS are already responding to this.
Yeah.
TR need to be responding to this. They need to be coming down and drop out right now before that beacon goes down. Will TR be a victim of circumstance?
All the people out of the air here.
TR beacon goes down. I believe it has been a lost cause for TR. Again, unlucky on the circumstances. VS already managing to hold the capture point, waiting on the A point, because once they get that A point, they can pretty much turtle that point if they so wish to be. So yeah, TR already a lot of cheese on the B point here. You can see where TR have managed to make their focus here. They've gone mainly on the defense. Had they committed to that drop, they could have maybe got that point, but they could have done that pretty much sooner than that. VS making their way to the last pocket of resistance, which is on the B point itself. C point is very open. The Slams will have a field day if anyone should kind of hold that position. But yet, A hasn't flipped. A hasn't flipped, so maybe they're back at Shadespire. Maybe it's round 2 for that. Oh, we are seeing a few sides go down. They are on point. Let's see who is here. We do see a few 1v1s going on. Banging tunes will just die to some Frogface. Frogface dies to Henry. Bob Squirrel getting the res. Can he get the res on Tunes, bro? And this is the thing, TR need to commit to this the best they can. They need to start pulling as many ESF to try and support this push. Great effort by TR to try and get on this. But they need to focus on getting every single person here. Let VS stay at the previous base. Those guys on B, get them there. VS are already responding to this. You do see a lot of infantry getting coming to the northernmost spawn point here, coming into the double space. And like magic is the daytime. Not many TR remaining. VS will take this point unless TR can reinforce this.
It's obviously just a question of time without having any hard spawns here. But though it was good from WFAT.
I mean, if WFAT do manage to make some time here, that gives them plenty of time to start dealing with the VS infantry and vehicles and maybe any sort of spawns they have here. But the TR on the capture point themselves have not budged an inch. They are staying on the B point. They should probably sally forth and destroy the VS cheese here. It's compensation for losing that back cap. Because obviously VS do have 2 Sunderers on the A point. They could have probably deployed a few heavies to take out a Sunderer once they realised that the back cap wasn't going to go ahead. But you can't fault them for trying. VS have still yet to push into B point, so from their perspective, they've got to probably think, do I commit to a back cap or do I commit to a defence? And it's okay for me to say, I think obviously having a bigger picture and, you know, the ops cam, but the guys on the ground, it could be a whole different story. But the point still hasn't flipped. Point still hasn't flipped here. What adds TR up to? Obviously, he has to wait 20 more seconds. VS diligently watching the capture point here.
Yeah. Yes, so there won't be any other backup, I guess.
But in all honest opinion, TR should not have let that base go. They had the means to get it back. They just had to do the right timing, I guess.
Huge setup from TR on the B point here. The A point is definitely contested by KATS, and C point without any people here. So with having...
Ooh, was that a Team Spitfire kill on a Bob Squirrel? He just live, dying on stream, live on stream to a Team Spitfire force multiplier. If only I had an action replay. VS are still trying to get onto the B point, but VS only have to capture 1 point, and as long as VS have 1 point, TR are going to go nowhere. TR do have the numbers in that garage to sally forth and destroy these Mag Riders. They're very much crunching up here. All they have to do is sally forth. They have Sunderers, they can respawn on the Sunderers. They don't have to hide behind the shields. Spawn a few heavies, get a few decimators, take out the Mag Riders. Give yourself that breathing space. And this is the thing. VS have A and C point. 40 minutes is 40 minutes. They're already ahead. They've got TR cornered on that corner. They can let them stay. TR can't go anywhere. They just have to defend. That's all they can do at this point, unless they sally forth. and take the initiative back. But they are slowly losing Sunderer by Sunderer.
Five minutes remain in the round. 5 minutes.
With 5 minutes remaining in this round, there is literally nothing either team can do. VS can't cap. Maybe if they get A point, oh, sorry, B point, maybe, but I doubt it. TI can't do anything in return, so it's all a case of team deathmatch time.
What is the capture timer here of having 3 points? I actually don't know.
Maybe like 6-7 minutes.
Okay.
Roughly, I could be wrong on that. That's just a guesstimation.
Yeah, though. KATS is making slowly some progress. I see amount of Sunderers getting lower. WFAT is even more getting into the corners here.
It just seems that TI are allowing themselves to be put in a corner, to be put in a box and not have any sort of breathing space. We saw previously that they had a very good opportunity, maybe 2 times, to retake Shadespire, but without having someone contest that defense, you know, they can't know that information. They need to essentially invest in having 1 or 2 players to stay behind, to relay information to the team leader, telling them when to commit, when not to commit. We did see that TR did get a few beacons up and a few people did drop, but it wasn't very unfortunate. I think if they did it a bit quicker, maybe they could, but it's all part of the perspective of the ground forces. You know, do they commit? Do they take that risk? You know, it's very risky. But it does seem apparent that TR were expecting to get rolled over like this, and you know, as we saw, they started getting free cheese at Shadespire, free cheese at Mining Operation. But maybe now that TR know the VS kind of play, maybe they'll go on the offensive the next round, and maybe VS will just do the same thing. Maybe they'll change a few things, that kind of thing. But it's quite evident that VS has played a major role in this game, and only when they didn't have a sizable air force did they actually make any progress on the ground. So it seems a two-sided. You know, if TR take out many sibes, that gives VS more infantry to take a point. So it's kind of a game of, you know, it's a double-edged sword, I guess.
Yeah, so right now it's just about killing as many people, just having some fun here as much as you can.
I do feel like it's definitely in the power of VS to root out this this B-hole, but it seems that both teams are just, you know, reluctant to commit either way. VS aren't going to push in, TR aren't going to push out. And that's maybe because TR thinking we can't really push out because there's a lot of VS sides, and you know, VS probably thinking we can't go in because there's a lot of Thunderers. I mean, it's 2 minutes 30. I think we're maybe like last minute, maybe. I'm not too sure. 1 minute 32 left in the game.
1 and 30.
If they get the A point, they maybe could have would. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm sure there's people in chat who could probably correct me on that and give me the. Oh, C has been taken back. Where's C? Oh, no, VS took it back immediately. Bezo tried to be a hero, but now he's just taking sleepy time. A and C up.
1 minute.
As we can over here, TR managed to take the catch point back. Not seeing any infantry. Oh, we do see Morphe in here hiding behind a rock, just taking that catch point. That's what we need to be doing. And that's what the kind of thing they should have done at Shadespire. Have a few infiltrators just taking that point, just pissing off the VS, you know, keep stopping the VS to commit a lot of stuff. TR did give VS a lot of time to breathe, to make a plan, get some cheese going, that kind of thing. And like I said, it's just a very bad turn of events in terms of like timing and situational awareness. A is neutral. TR didn't manage to get the pack, but Obviously,
Yep.
40 seconds to put the base, but it is too late for either team. It's just a team deathmatch time. All it tries to push out. Two Tuning Bro gets killed by the VS. Seems the TR getting that strength and courage to push out in the last few seconds, but it's all for nothing.
End of round, end of round. Both teams, please leave the continent while we flip around the lane.
And that is the end of the
All
first
right.
half. And that's so KATS going ahead there 2-0, 1 point for Average Axe and 1 point for Shadespire Farms as the admins and the refs flip the continent. We are seeing a lot of orbital strikes coming in here. Obviously, somebody is very not happy that people are still continuing to fight.
Base is still not cleared.
I just want his Liberators get nuked, just saying.
You are in a restricted area.
Okay, so how do you think WFAT performed beside of the score of 2-0?
I mean,
in
I'm
that
pretty
half?
sure that Liberator shouldn't be there, so I'm just going to destroy it.
Please remember to actually spawn on another continent to remove your deployables. Once you have done that, you may return to the lane. The match will resume in 8 minutes.
I have no C4 to take out that Liberator, but hopefully they have
Leave
been
the
nukes it.
restricted area immediately.
So anyway, what was your question, say, Barney?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the performance, as I said, beside of the 2-0 of WFAT, more of talking about WFAT's performance here. So what I think that was also written in the Twitch chat here. WFAT didn't play bad, definitely not. But KATS was just playing much better here. There was a little mistake with the precap here on Shadespire. Looked like, yeah, whole VS just left the X, and then we had backup here, causing like, I don't know, maybe like 2 or even 3 minutes here. As a little break here. But I think if KATS was also up to, and that they could have also taken the home base here.
Yeah, I feel like TR did just resign themselves to going on the defensive. I think they could have held Shadespire just with a little bit more effort. Maybe they were playing a game, then let VS commit to it. But but again, I think VS themselves could have been a bit more aggressive. In retrospect, they definitely have that skill. That cohesion to pull chi, that kind of thing, and push in. But it just seemed, from my perspective at least, that they were just more, concerned with trying to get as many kills as possible for committing their forces onto the capture point. But had they been more aggressive, like we saw at the beginning, there were a few maxes, one max, two heavy, just trying to YOLO themselves in the point, trying to get a few kills, just chasing those kills. TR were just wiping them. It wasn't only until VS was starting to run out of sides did they have a sizable force to take the capture point. But maybe we'll see TR understand that I think they're outmatched in the air. Like, not too sure what kind of pilots KATS have, but they did seem to have that dominance over the TR. So maybe we'll see TR from the get-go dedicate themselves to anti-air. But as we saw then, when they started to put anti-air under us, they lost out to the Mag Riders. And so we saw at the beginning, TR did have a lot more Sunras, a lot more prowlers compared to the one or two Mag Riders and Sunras that the BS had. But they made up for that in the fact that they managed to wipe the TR air and then descend on the TR armor column pretty much at the garage area of Amrish Arcs here. So basically, TR were pretty much just in a big blob here, and they just allowed themselves to get pushed from the west and obviously from the air. They did manage to get a Sunderer at the double stack, which is good, which is should be the most like predictable thing that any
True. Yeah.
team could do on the eastern side. So maybe we'll see the VS do the same, and this time around we'll probably see maybe a flip of what happened earlier in terms of Sunny replacement. So the TR will have to take control of the western or southern edge to try and get a spawn solution up. So they're probably have to rely on more beacons. The VS were very crafty in the beginning. I didn't notice their galaxy, so whether that was like a last minute pull or they were hiding it from me, obviously try and hide their top tier strats. I didn't see a galaxy from TR either, but they did have a Sunderer already heading to the capture point. But like we've seen in previous games and this game, it doesn't matter who gets the catch point first. It's whoever holds it in the last 10 seconds because teams are going to push all the time.
I still don't see anyone of WFAT on the home base here. But population here, yeah, a little bit. But okay, now we have the first people spawning something here. But for the moment, I still can't see if they, if WFAT might change something on the opener
4
right
minutes.
here. With 4 minutes remaining until start, I see like nothing here. A bit late because nanites you use now are kind of free. So being early here is definitely worth it. What WFAT can also do, it is not just the team on Crux Mining home base, also the other team. If they are fast enough, they can also drive a Sunderer inside and place the Sunderer, preferably as stealth, or in the western of Emmerich Arcs, near to the vehicle terminal here. Beside of that,
I think I've lost you. I think I've lost you on. Where are you? Where are you looking at? Oh, you're looking over here. Okay.
You're following me on the map a bit.
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay.
I'm zooming around to kind of show the viewers what you're talking about. And this is the thing, like maybe in the future, like if there's a co-caster wants to stream, maybe I can show like 2 POVs, that kind of thing.
Yep.
I mean, what's your prediction for the second half then? Do you think TR going to go on the offensive and try and get a point back, or do you think they're going to try and go on the defensive?
No way. I think, and I would also do just trying to be offensive here. Yeah, I mean they are the team which doesn't have any point right now. So if they want to make some impact, they have to be a bit aggressive to achieve some points here. And as I said, the options from the Crux headquarters home base, there are still some options. It's not like there are no options just because of like not having the Sunderer near to the stack building here. Maybe they should check the timing with a drop here. That drop in the first half on Emmerich Arcs was definitely kind of wasted because they just got ground pounded, but before there was the time to do it a bit. So they should take care of that. Something else here, I still don't see WFAT on their home base. Not like really. Seeing like 2 mosquitoes, but that is it. Maybe starting from the warp gate, at least partially, but never suggestion.
1 minute to round start. It will start on the next in-game nanite tick.
So
1 minute to round start.
1 minute, gonna look up at the eastern side. The eastern side now taken up by KATS, playing as VS. As for the first round, we do see they have a lot of sides again. Where's their sneaky galaxy? Will I find it this time? Will I find it? Am I being blind? They do have a few Sunderers hiding underneath the A point.
Thing from WFAT is now they have 5 galaxies in the air. Beside of 2 mosquitoes, that's everything I see from WFAT here. 5 galaxies. Repair here. That should be Jenner. Repair.
I think
15.
deploying the tactical ramming speed. We do see some very scuffed looking galaxies here. Maybe expendable, you know, Morphean, deathly expendable.
5,
Knowing
4,
WFAT, they will crash
3,
half these galaxies, so
2,
there's maybe strength in
1.
numbers.
Round start.
Let's see what the TR are planning to do with this
Uh-huh.
amount of galaxies.
Um,
They do have a lot of scythes though, so they're not going to be in
I
a fair fight.
I
Maybe
can
it's a
only expect a
distraction.
turtle here, to be honest. I would maybe also try it somehow. With those 5 galaxies, that is absolutely interesting.
Torn Falcon, please return to your home hex before resuming play. You are outside the bounds of the home base on match start. Again, please return to home base before entering play.
Very
Yeah, we have-
interesting competition. The TR are on the capture point. It just seems that the galaxies are simply there just to try and soak up as much PPA and Cypher. We do see a few TR deploying on the eastern edge here. Maybe they're going to try and take out Sundra, or maybe they just happen to get lost along the way. A very severe lack of trees on this part of the map, so TR pilots do not have an excuse. It does seem that TR have essentially dedicated themselves to getting on that capture point and setting up their very known max pairs here. Again, some very quickly think maxes here.
Torn Falcon, you're all set to re-enter play.
Okay, we have Cyrus reaching the point with his max unit here. Interesting, yeah, really interesting as well. Just solely running in there with the max unit.
The VS Thunderers, as predicted, have managed to go to the double stack here, but PR desperate to get onto the capture point here. But with that Sundra here, VS could easily start to mount an offensive onto the capture point.
So they have 4 max units in here.
Nobody seems to be watching the other walkway. VS could use the opportunity to try and get a few C4 onto the lane, try and kill a few TR. We just see a few Max coming up, unsupported Max here by the VS. Zyros coming up, Osprey trying to get a few repairs on him. And this is the thing, TR allowing one VS Max to bully them, but bigger VS push coming down on the northeastern side here. Not many TR remain, 2 minutes 20 on the capture point. TR getting a few pressures here. I don't think they have any sort of strong solution to try and recuperate their gains. VS also using their scythe to prevent any sort of reinforcement coming in. VS using their power hit to try and wipe the remaining TR here. They do get catch point 2 minutes and the point will be theirs. What will TR's response be?
Yeah, so this was to be expected. Dropping on point with the start of half and just sending out those maxes on the point. If that works for whole 4 minutes, then this is really... Then they have to be really special circumstances, but...
It just seems that TR gambled there. They knew that VS Air was superior,
Yeah.
and they just completely ignored it and went for point with as many men as they could. Unfortunately, they did lose quite a few men on the east and on the north, not landing consistently and coherently on the catch point themselves. Maybe things could have been different, but VS were very quick to not allow TR to turtle on the point and set up any sort of achieve. We do see a lot of sides here punishing the TR. Obviously, WFAT very quick to start getting some cheese, but retrospectively, VS quite as quick to try and prevent TR from setting up the cheese. This itself is a very awkward base for cheese, with the capture point being very isolated on top of a mountain. So with those sides dominance, with the TR thinking, I'll get our guys on the ground, without playing an ESF, they've literally just surrendered the air to the VS. And any TR trying to get to the A point, it's going to be impossible.
There we have the situation again. WFAT preparing the defense on the next base on Black Shard here. Let's see how the population does on Emmerich Arc. Still kind of, I've seen some people dropping by beacon here on that base. It's trying a bit, but I think the focus is already again on the previous base here.
TR managed to get a few Sunderers here. Again, they've managed to try and get some sort of cheese here, but the point itself is very isolated. We do see a few Burster Maxes taken to the field here to try and get some breathing space on the side.
If you're having the air on Blackshot, then you have like everything already won. So point is just so open, and capture can be so easy just with having air. I'm seeing I think one max unit bursts here.
I think TR need to pull some ESFs just to try and divert the side's attention from the cheese here. Just to try and buy them some time. The Magras are already trying to make their way on top of the hill here.
I'm also wondering why they put those Sunderers here. Because they are playing against VS, against Mag Riders, so...
Burster Max versus Mag Rider, who will win? How the TR try to make a back cap. I don't see any VS defending the capture point. There's no VS here. This could be a perfect time for someone to try and get through for the TR as the VS slowly start to commit themselves with Mag Riders and Sunderers towards the base.
Looks like it will still take some time until VS really reaches the point on Blackshot here. In that case, I would try something with pulling something like vehicles, at least a little amount, Sunderers, from a base before, like from Shadespire, and trying just to drive something to Ambush Arcs, just setting it back up.
And the catch point is going to VS, but TR do manage to use a beacon to reinforce, but VS still have a beacon, TR still have a buff, so that buff's not going to last for very long. VS are slowly gaining control of the remaining of the base. Have TR made a... Oh, we do see Ollie TR, has he tried again? Get the point?
Yeah, but he should be faster, Ollie should be faster, I don't see anyone here.
Do they have a beacon? Does TR have a beacon? Has he beaconed?
Oh.
I don't see a beacon. Can he reinforce it? I don't think he can. All he's going to do is... And VS are finally on the edge of taking this base here. Literally on the doorstep of taking this base. Has the TR committed to a back cap? TR do have the back cap, but it's all going to be for nothing. Beacon goes up. Maybe a bit too late here. 10 seconds to redeploy. You know, VS are already responding. That's 10 seconds wasted for TR. But some TR have managed to make it, but they need to flip. They need to get more beacons up, more and more. The VS are still focusing on capture point. But for every TR who dies here, they need to change, they need to flip, they need to rotate.
There's nothing special upcoming here. It's just some distraction. Though, I mean, I think VS is quite sure that they will get Blackshot anyways. But like having no one on the previous base is also not an option. They are just wasting time here. Getting back up again here in the second half. Even if I'd have dominance, I'd still not that team's backcapping that base before. And now at least we have like 1 minute and kind of reaching 1 minute and 30 here.
VS are responding. VS are playing back on the main spawner and giving up their attack on Blackshot. Osprey VS, Max pushing up the stairs here. with a few of his comrades. TR on themselves. They don't really have a lot of cheese here. It's just basic infantry with C4 trying to hold off these maxes from coming in. Obviously, VS do have the benefit of the spawn room. TR can only come in from air or beacon. More C4 goes out, just misses Osprey there. VS committing on the western side.
This is still surprisingly good, I have to say, without having maxes on this point here. VS has, by the way.
One minute 44. Can TR hold out? Can VS re-secure this base? More and more VS are coming in.
Yeah.
More maxes. VS investing a lot of maxes on
now
the
with the max here, they will gain control back. Oh,
Res going out for TR.
Still holding the point though. Still holding it. They're still the max unit. Really annoying them. I believe.
Oh, Meglix are still alive, but they're not. Oh, last PR goes down here. But they did buy some time. 2 minutes 33 for VS to re-secure this base. That gives TR plenty of time to get rid of any sort of VS vehicle at Blackside Tungsten and potentially come back here. That's going to put VS on the back foot. All the effort VS made to get Blackshard, get the Sunderers, get the Mag Riders here. This is giving the TR plenty of opportunity to get rid of these Mag Riders and give themselves some breathing space. You do see that we do see a few TR ESFs have made play. TR already coming back here to make quick work of the enemy Sunderers while also pulling their own Sunderers. Maybe for a quick counter attack. They do have 2 minutes. They could theoretically get there. You know, a lot of VS surrendered their planes, their Mag Riders to try and push off the VS off the point, but surely VS will be doing the same. They'll be pulling vehicles from this base to try and get a counterattack going themselves. Maybe a Galaxy, maybe a Hurrah, you know, for your vehicle. We do see infantry pushed onto the terminals and trying to prevent the TR from utilising that terminal. The Mag Riders are holding the road here eastwards to prevent the TR column from coming. We know it's going to come. Oh, but TR have again resigned themselves. They're getting cheese on the capture point. Why not committing this force, this serious amount of nanites down this road to capitalise on the effort they just did? All the effort that they did, and they're going to squander it by going again on the defensive. But I guess it is better to be, you know, you're ready than sorry. So maybe a few stunners here, maybe a few stunners sally out to try and recap the base. There's still a VS presence here. They are making a good effort to try and isolate these remnants of the VS. But Zyros is holding his own here, killing multiple TR here.
Still 1 minute left, so if WFAT wants, they can start another backup, and this is what I'd like to see from them. Just keeping KATS busy, even if they cannot take the point completely, just to keeping them busy and not without just defending the base. So putting some effort in attacking here.
We do have a TR infiltrator on the capture point, just waiting. He is going to wait. Oh, there's a Max, but obviously Maxes can't capture points, so technically that infiltrator could capture back, and he is doing it. He is absolutely, he is having his eyes out. This Max is absolutely no idea. Oh, 2 infiltrators. There's multiple infiltrators here. One goes down. Henry TR there, trying to, but Ollie and Ye, Ollie and Ye, and Eddie. Eddie comes in here. Osprey VS, the sole survivor.
Just that one, that Max is Half-Life. Ollie got the revive.
This is 100 IQ play by WFAT. Well done. This is very intuitive. That's it. 1 HP and your Max for that. And TR are back on the capture point. How far did VS manage to make their way to the Blackshard Tungsten? They did get Sunder up. They do have a spawn Sunder. They do have a few Mag Riders. They do have a few infantry. No doubt Zyros is still hunting TR around this base. Yes, do have a beacon on the capture point itself. You still have quite a few infantry dedicated to the defense of this base. I think the attempt to backcap it, should I say. But the VS sides have already responded to this. More and more VS are coming in. The TR beacons are very isolated here. A lot of TR die in the entranceway. That's a lot of medics trying to get their way.
Max unit number 1 of VS arrives again. And let's see on the under entrance. Yeah, there we also have one.
PS trying to retake the factor point here. Coming from both sides, the TRB can still persist. We just go down. How have they managed to flip out? We do see Galaxy by BS here. Maybe they were on the way to do a Galaxy drop on the previous base, on the next base, sorry. 1 minute 55. Can TR hold out this time?
WFAT is doing so well on this point here. I'm not sure how long they can do this or how more often, because I mean all those resonates also take nanites. For the moment it's working even against those maxes here. Sticking in here. What I'm missing is just the C4. Okay, somehow they are trying KATS, but just mass throwing C4 on the point, the slide assaults here.
A big push by BS on the southwestern side of the stairwell here. Big push coming in. Will we see some counter C4 by TR? BS hesitating, trying to get a few peaks. Ooh, so two go down.
And
TR
now
getting the rest up.
they are starting to get out of the resonates. That's the problem here. But 1 minute on the timer.
Resonate for BS goes out here. BS retreating to the safety of the lower levels, but BS have managed to penetrate on the northeastern side here, and the TR have been wiped again. But great effort, great attempt there by the TR, and well done to BS for essentially wiping out the TR push again. And this is kind of like attitude TR could have invested in the first half. But it's great to see that they've, you know, upped their game a little bit.
More reses, more zombies spawning.
We do see TR. I mean, they might get it back. They might get it back.
Yes.
Do they have another rescue grenade?
Holy, they still have some resonates in stock. And they...
Oh. I think that is it. They almost had it back, but
yeah,
you know, that was very interesting to watch.
Fighting against heavies here and being in a bad situation after being revived.
Again, they bought 2 minutes 20. Will they go again? And here's the thing, that's going to keep more VS now on the defensive, because they're going to get wise to what TR are doing. Has TR used that time to wipe out the VS at Black Shard? It does seem so. There's a few VS here, they could probably get beacons up. They still have that Sunderer that has not been dealt with yet. Maybe they don't know about that. But it's going to allow VS to quickly rotate the vehicle bay. It has been harassed by a few sides here. Well, a few sides, one side. The other sides are quickly returning for the feast. A lot of TR in the open. This can only mean one thing. Will the PPA come? No PPA.
Let's see if some of KATS will stay now on Emmerich Ark's point here, because being backcapped 2 times just because of having literally no one. Or I mean, okay, no, that's wrong, because they had those maxes on the point.
But that was a great play by Infiltrator though. Those 2 maxes, they should have known better. They knew that they were pretty much going to get, you know.
But just maxes holding the point doesn't work because they kind of capture point. So that was done very well here. And still like more than 1 minute? Yeah, it's more than 1 minute left.
1 minute 10.
I hope they are not low on nanites, no. But maybe they can repeat this somehow. As I said, just keeping them busy here.
11 minutes 30 in the game left. Still plenty of time for either team to capture a base. Will we see KATS go 4-0? Will we see KATS go 3-1?
I mean, technically, even a 3-2 would be possible just by calculating.
We see here TR going back on the defensive, trying to focus down those sides, but the more TR they dedicate to defense, the less they're going to have to back cap or rotate. They are pushing the VS beacons here. VS Infiltrator getting caught unawares there, but the sides are back.
20 seconds left. I don't see a lot of population from TR on previous base on Emmerich Arcs.
And this is the thing, like, it does seem that TR are the more like cohesive force here. We do see quite numerous times at VS, they're like sending like drips and drabs, a few individuals to try and contest a point. And only when they do make a big force, they're actually making progress. But they do finally, TR do finally take out that Sunderer. Not before a few VS manage to spawn it. Will I get a beacon up? Will we see Xyrus or Spirit or even Fel get a beacon up for his comrades to allow VS to come back on here? We do see overkill. Oh, they do have a hidden Sunderer on the northern edge here, very much out of view from the TR and the PPA. You know, the edge of ground has returned, the sides have returned. They're going to make an absolute living hell for TR, as they've seen the last 10 or so minutes. Galaxy comes in, coming in for a drop. Oh, big drop in the middle of a TR push, trying to get back on the. Looks like the VS have been wiped. They do have two individual on the side. The sides trying to support, but TR are slowly winning. But they have been pummeled on the point. Engineers and Maxes. That really remains. But will we see TR do a back cap now that VS has managed to commit themselves to the action? TR have the back cap again on Hammer's Dark Reserve. It does seem that TR are quickly rotating on that beacon, getting on that point. They need to get in there before those sides come back. They're already on their way. They know what's going to happen. Yeah. This is literally a routine now.
There's already first 3 scythes arriving here.
Oh god, they need to get in. Get in, boys. Oh god, the horror. You hate to see it.
I think now the scythes were a bit faster here. Though they can, yeah, that's what I just thought. Like, they can destroy those scythes here.
You think the TR would beacon elsewhere, but beacons coming in, scythes coming in, absolute chaos here. VS trying to. And here we are, TR on the capture point again, but they didn't manage. The VS were very quick to respond to this.
Yes, they have some way out to place some more beacons here. Yes, TR is still a possibility to get out. There's some new beacons.
Like, where was this WFAT team in the first round?
Is this the best you have?
Okay,
and then the flock of slimes have returned back
to
their killing grounds as TR hastily re-rotate back to Blackshard Tungsten, trying to make their way back to the capture point. Obviously, they did have a Galaxy there, so they could easily counter-attack if they want, but they did manage to get 30 seconds, so TR have plenty of time to get back on the defensive.
Yeah, but TR going by Fuji on point, and this doesn't work with air control by VS and also some armor. Yes, so they weren't successful with this, reaching the point. Amorish arcs, 5 seconds remaining until it's saved. Now we should see, now we should finally see the point turning to VS.
And VS have finally got a cap on Blackshard Tungsten. But now they're going to get beacons in, infantry on, and slimes and magways, and they're going to prevent the TR from moving. TR have managed to make their way to the L-shaped building, but they are pretty much in a pickle here. They're going to get cross-section here by multiple VS along the ridge. As soon as TR leave those buildings, the PPA is going to come in. TR need to use like beacons to pepper pot their way to the capture point and land on force. But with this base itself, we do see in the background the TR home base. They could essentially pull ESFs or Galaxy and essentially drop this point. It's very easy to do while the VS point perspective on the spawn room and the teleporter arm catcher point itself. Maybe we'll see some TR pull ESFs, maybe Galaxy come up from behind. VS push them to L shape.
Ollie hacked the terminal on Amorish Arcs, pull to Sandra right now. Are now driving it into Amorish Ark's base, I guess? Actually not. Actually placing the Sandra somewhere
we are seeing some Sunderas moving westward towards Blackshard Tungsten. The Slimes are not aware of it. I don't know what Sunny's plan is. Maybe they're going to set up a spawn on the eastern edge and then come up behind the VS. Maybe we'll see that 2 minutes 30. I don't see a lot of spawns from TR. TR are up to something. Maybe they're at Crook's headquarters. Maybe they're at... Oh, we do see a lot of TR pulling Sunderers and vehicles from the vehicle bay. A few prowls are getting pushed. Maybe it's going to be the counter-attack that TR, but it's going to take them a long time to come up this road here, and We have
Sandro
2
was
minutes.
successfully placed here. VS did have the Sandro on the radar here, and
I believe
Then
TR are
we
going
have
to
that one.
commit to a counter-attack here, but they need to hurry up because in 2 minutes,
We can still
in
win
2 minutes, that Prowler taking out that sniper has made VS aware to the actions. That's literally, said, hey guys, we're over here, and this is going to be a lot of push. They're going to take time to consolidate and time to push on, but it's 1 minute 40. If they're going to push that column, they need to do so now, but the VS are already rotating, probably with heavies to ward off that attack. So whatever TR are doing, they need to act quickly before they lose that initiative. We are seeing some TR coming in. Yay, Infiltrator. Will we see a beacon? Will we see a beacon assault by Yay? Yay TR coming to the point.
okay, so what we might see now
4
again,
minutes, 30 seconds remain in the game.
we have
4
those.
minutes, 30
Yeah,
seconds.
we have this cloaked Sandy still up on Blackshard, and it wasn't spotted. So, they're
Oh,
kind
Yay's
of
about to,
preparing.
Yate's about to be discovered. Maybe by some super secret agent music. I'll be playing it right now. He infiltrates the point. Will he go for the beacon? Will he announce his presence? He does. He knifes it. Forst is unaware of what's just happened. And yeah, he's on the point, but did he get a beacon up? Did he get a beacon? Forst is waking up here. He kills Forst here. He needs to stay on that point. Oh, yay. Oh, why did you not stay on the point for 1 extra second? Be Hot Eddie coming in.
Okay.
It was a very nice attempt by TR, but he didn't place that beacon. Maybe he was on a cooldown. What do TR have in store? What are VS up to? Has VS managed to get any sort of Sunderer down here, or any sort of spawn? Do they have anyone in a position to get a back out? There's like maybe 4 minutes left in the game, perhaps. Sorry, 3 minutes left in the game. 3 minutes.
Correct.
VS can't capture Crux headquarters, but TR could still definitely hold it in the 30 seconds. Well, we did see that Tunesbro did make an attempt on the capture point, but TR needs to be using beacons. They need to be putting beacons down and then pepper potting onto the capture point.
There's... Okay, there's already a Stalker Infiltrator set up for the backup here on Blackshard again.
Will Ye get a beacon? He's going for his second attempt. He needs to place a beacon. His guys need to come in and support this guy. He can't do all the work.
He wants to go onto the point now. Okay. Did not expect this here.
He went down again.
Yeah.
5 seconds, and VS get another point. They will go 4-0. Again, well done to Ye for getting on a catch point twice, but again, where was the beacon? That could have shifted the favour in TR's balance there.
Well, I would have just waited there as the Stalker until KATS left the base and then placing the beacon after that. Because, yeah, everyone redeployed again from KATS. No one's on the point here. Let's see if a point on Crux. Yeah, okay. Now they have the option to get quite easily a point on Crux here. They have.
VS have already got the C point.
That is the C point.
Headquarters, and they are moving on to B point here. King Count and Axel and VS going on to B, trying to make advances here. Ollie trying to go slightly forth. Ollie tries to dance, but unfortunately doesn't dance to the tune of the VS. More VS are coming up the hill towards the B point, using their beacon on the C point itself to reinforce it. They are pushing towards the spawn room here. Resk TR trying to get a kill here. Not sure what he hoped to achieve there. Maybe it was shooting a scythe, not too sure. And the VS managed to make their way onto B point.
Yeah.
Gonna have a look at Blackshard. Maybe TR managed to commit and got caught out, but it doesn't seem that the TR made an effort after that. They're gonna solely concentrate on defending the base.
I just don't know, because they still have the cloaked Sandra here. They have the perfect spawn here, but they did not do any backup here.
There's like literally 1 minute left in the game. Nothing either team can do here.
No,
The final score is going to be 4-0 to KATS. Congratulations to KATS, VS, and commiserations to WFAT. As we saw then, and we've seen in many
30 seconds.
victim of bad timing, circumstance, like where was the WFAT team in the first half? But they played really well. They definitely improved second half. VS, they dominated for both rounds, but on the second half, they did start to get put on the back foot, which is great to see.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End of match. End of match. Congratulations to KATS on the 4-0 win over WFAT. And good game played by both teams. Team captains, please hop up to interview channel for casters.
And that is GG to both teams. KATS
Yep.
walking away with a 4-0 victory.
Yep, both teams played very well, definitely.
It's great to see that the VS dominating both the first and second half. Maybe in future, TR will WFAT will know that if they ever come against a team similar to that again, like the air is going to be really good. But we saw then that TR tried to try a few things quite new. The Galaxy push at the beginning, that was a very big gamble. It did achieve its aim of getting onto the capture point, but without that contest of the airspace, that allowed VS to just dominate any reinforcements coming in, that kind of thing. And it just left, even on in the ground, Magpie Thunderers, it just gave VS free range to move around. But we did see that WFAT change their tactic a little bit. They did manage to make some advantages, but unfortunately, they did fall victim to timing. We saw Yaden at the end coming in twice, going to catch a point. Infiltrator doing really well for WFAT, but he didn't get that beacon down. Maybe on a cooldown, maybe someone else should have done that. But we did see that TR, even in the second round, did start to default onto the defensive, whereas VS just kept their momentum going up. Even when they had to rotate back to Black Shard, Armor Sharks, they would go straight to Black Shard and back and forth. TR kind of set that routine, and VS were very quick to understand that. So how do you think the game went, Barmy?
I was surprised by WFAT in the second half. The first half, well, it was not like they did their best, but in the second half, they completely turned that here with those attacks. They perfectly used the mistakes in not having any people defending the point from KATS here. And I mean, just for watching it, I think it was great here. The second half. Though, of course, KATS was just doing much better. The score says everything. Also, just due to the air control here. But I mean, WFAT definitely did their best, at least in the second half, and that was great here. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, it was great to see, but I do feel like they could have maybe got 1 point at least. They had plenty of opportunities, but they just fell victim to circumstance and bad timing, I think. But then again, I do think VS could have been a bit more aggressive. They were obviously aggressive, but as we saw in the first round when they were at Crux mining, they were just sat back, just pulling the guys on B point and just allowing the TR guys to just respawn the Sunder and die again. They wasn't really making that effort to wipe out TR and show that dominance that they could have probably done. Maybe it was just down to hesitation, or maybe it was just a case of just prolonging the misery of the guys in that B pocket. But the TR giving the air to the VS was probably a miscalculation on TR, but they kind of used that manpower to try and make gains, which they sort of did. We saw some amazing play by WFAT in the second round. It did definitely keep the VS on the back foot. I have no idea where the team captains are, and if they are not here in the next minute or so, I am just gonna go on to future matches.
So I think the next match will start in 45 minutes. So
if I just flip to the where is it? The schedule tab.
Yeah.
We'll see that tonight's game is at 2000 UTC. It will be on this channel. I can't remember who's actually going to host it, but it's literally an hour from now. So guys, if you enjoyed this match, I'm sure you'll enjoy the next match. So go take a break, and we'll see you guys soon.
I think this will be a really enjoyable match. Guessing two quite equal teams with Turtle and Prey here. By the way, casted by Halot and Dubness, and also Gallus and Gretchen.
So there's going to be a dub stream, I think.
Yes, a double stream.
So
Definitely worth it.
Multiple POVs going to go on tonight for the next game. So I'm pretty sure you guys will go to your preferred streamer. And just as we talked about schedule and that kind of thing, just going to go and recap on this weekend's game. So if I go back to the previous schedule, so just going through the weekend so far, again, we saw OKTC lead 5-0 against Date yesterday, as well as we saw Too Late lead against Dark 4-1. And as you've seen there, this was game 3, WFAT versus KATS, and KATS walking away with 4-0 lead. Game 4 coming up within the next hour or so. So we'll see what the score is, I guess. Been a great weekend of LaneSmash insofar, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope the quality was good. I hope you could actually hear me. I think for the first 10-20 minutes there might have been Twitch overlay in the background, which might have duplicated my voice. I do apologize for that. Big thanks to the refs and the admins in the background, especially for turning for daytime, and especially to you, Barmy, for co-casting this evening. And more importantly, to the teams and players of both KATS and WFAT for taking part in this tournament. And again, to all the other teams in this tournament, thank you for attending, and to the viewers, thank you for watching. I don't think the team captains are gonna show up, to be honest, and I'm sure Barmy and me have more other pressing matters to go on to.
That's true.
So
hey, wake up. Hey, wake up.
But I'm not really seeing anyone as captain. But those people were not streaming, so. Huh. So I think we have Puff Daddy and Osprey and yeah. Hello. He needs the interview role. Let me see if I can do that. Actually, I can. Hello.
Oh. Hi.
Okay.
How are you?
There we go. Nice match, definitely.
Close one. One.
Well, okay. I mean,
I was on the edge of my seat.
The score is clear, but the match itself was really nice to watch. At least talking about the second half, it was just insane. From my side, I have to say, there were insane moments. Especially talking about Emmerich Arcs here, that was just crazy.
I cannot underline how many times I shouted the words "We need a beacon" that second half. It was fucking insane. That fucking call. At the start, our team only heard the word reset from Reltor. We didn't hear the rest of it. We only heard reset.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why our entire drop ended up somewhere, because we were like, all right, back to Hex, and then we're like, why are you shooting at us?
Yeah, so the drop at the beginning was also wondering me a bit.
If we'd landed with 10 maxes and a bunch of medics and heavies on the point, I think we might have had a solid shot at taking the neutral. Oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah, so Dots, do you want to go on here?
Yeah, so Bob, we saw a different WFAT from the first half. What happened the first half? What did you change the second half? We saw in the second half there was a lot of I would say experimental tactics going on, especially the Galaxy starter. and we did see quite a few infiltrator played onto Amber Shark Reserve. I'm sure you'll watch the video again and you will literally be internally screaming as much as I was when you noticed that your infiltrators could have probably got a beacon or two, but they did play really well. But so, what kind of spurred these like experimental tactics? What made you choose that Galaxy opener in the second round?
Our openers were decided before the start of the match. We decided first round we were gonna go for a more conventional approach, and second round we were gonna just pile driver the fucking point. But as I said, we only heard the word reset at the start, so the drop wasn't quite as planned.
And
if we had make it,
from our perspective, we saw that you guys like it seemed that you already had that defensive cheese in mind. Like every time you lost a base, we looked around, you were getting playing more and more Sunderers. We did see you push a lot of anti-air out and Sunderers to deal with the VS air, but retrospectively, the VS had a serious amount of mag riders, which made those Sunderers pretty much obsolete, essentially. But we did see that you guys are pretty decent at playing those Sunderers, getting the back caps, especially in the second half. But it does seem that in the first half you were pretty much focusing on the defensive, and I think whatever training you've done for that kind of paid off. Some really great holds. We did see that more so in the second half. The VS were kind of on the back foot. And speaking of VS, we are joined by Path and Osprey, which I'm assuming are the reps for KATS.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hi, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So first of all, and now we have everyone here. Congratulations to KATS. Commiserations to WFAT. Both teams played exceptionally well, especially WFAT in the second half. So guys, how do you think the game went? Starting with KATS. How do you think it went?
I mean, it was boring. I'm not gonna lie, it was boring to just have 1 minute of fight and then ghost cap because nothing happened.
So, would you say that it was boring and the maxes Amber Sharks didn't see its TI infiltrator? That was a very funny moment. I do hope someone clipped that.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. The match must have been funny on the upside and all with all the stalkers and stuff, but that was not fun to play. Like
Yeah, I can
seriously,
imagine.
I don't know about you, but I had a fuck ton of fun.
yeah, that's very cool. You had fun, but fucking up the other team is not very cool, you know.
You won, mate. What the fuck?
But I think
So
that was
what?
the only
We need to
option
have-
here for them, yeah? I mean...
No, there's no option. Not attacking is not an option.
I mean, the second round
But
was fine.
the-
with
the
backups
second
and the
round
drops,
was
it was fun.
if we attack, like we just lose more because you just
No,
BBA
yeah,
us.
but you did it in the second round. It was fun.
You
still
did in the
lost two
second round, it
bases,
was way
but
funnier.
the first round was like 1 minute of fighting and 3 minutes of ghost cap, and that was ultra boring. And just preparing your
Is
back-
that not because you are so effective at cheesing the point that any counterattack we make is inevitably defeated?
No.
Like us making those counterattacks just starves us as nanites, meaning that you are thus more effective in the future at killing off our cheese that we managed to get on point, meaning we lose more.
No.
Yes.
We lost exactly the same.
If we'd have non-stop counterattack, mate, you'd have made it all the way to our home base and capped that in fucking 20 minutes, mate. And we wouldn't have had any fun. We actually had a fair amount of fun, just like shits and giggles.
Yeah, and I had to bring my guys to meme to have fun.
True.
What's the counter on flashes pulled? We're like at 40.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the second round way
second
way
one was
more
cool.
than the first round.
Okay, so what was the idea though, when not having a single person or at least just those maxes on those points, defending them, but then you got 3 times backup? What was the idea there, or what was your initial plan? Because I mean, they distracted you for several minutes there.
I mean, to be frankly honest, first our transition was shit, but that's because I'm leading and I wasn't planned on leading, and I fucking stressed myself over it.
A shout out to Snipsel rating in World of Warcraft. Fuck him.
Exactly. Second, like the amount of prep we had was capture the first base and then whatever happens after. And third, with how it went with the first time they recap, that one was a mistake. But from there
But I
on,
think that was the
it was
only
more
option.
like, if they come back, at least we have a fight and have fun. If they don't, then we just move to the other base. So
Okay, well.
So starting off with TR, if you could anything differently? Obviously, hindsight is hindsight, but is anything different you could have done?
Muted Reltor at the start of the second half.
Yes, we were hearing the and to the viewers, I do apologize if you guys did hear the ref in the background, but that is a testament to the effort they put in behind the scenes. So I'm not really going to fault Reltor for that, but it has happened before.
Yeah, it's not our point. It's not his fault. Like it just is what it is. It just royally fucked us over at the start.
And to
It will, however, make some excellent memes.
and to KATS, is there anything in that game you had done differently?
Have better
Transitions.
transitions.
Good transitions. But everything
Yeah.
else was fine. Like,
Because speaking,
was
sorry,
our first match with the new team, and
Yeah,
it worked pretty good. We got everyone in. Like, we substituted a lot of people into the second round, so everyone could play. I was quite happy with the people, like in the air and tank squad. Was
Same on
nice.
the infantry. The people reacted and played and gathered and run. It was cool. If there was one thing to do better, yeah, again, it's the way we moved to the other base.
And Sunday placements. Scroll.
It was very lazy. Yeah, I mean, Shadespire is annoying with Sundays. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So is Blackshot, actually. I don't know. Yeah, it's really transition and stuff.
because we saw like the VS air was really good. Like even like in the second half when they were bouncing between Black Shadow and Armor Shark, you know, they kind of got into that pattern of expecting a TR, back cap, they go, they'd white, they go back, and your air was like superb. Like your air did everything pretty much like to keep TR from reinforcing Shadespire in the first half, that kind of thing. You know, your airs are definitely the VIP of that game. Your infantry, again, some really good skill plays there. We saw Zyros, you know, holding his own there against multiple TR. He was literally hunting TR down at Blackshire for a while.
User joined your
And-
channel.
And those sides
User left your
and those
channel.
sides coming in, you know, just wiping out the TR pushers. And that must have been demoralizing for TR, but it's great to see that TR kept coming back, especially in the second half.
Yeah, props on the second round. It was way more.
Yeah, that
like,
was fun. Yeah.
And it's great to see that kind of attitude. And Bob, as much as it hurts me to say this, like where was that team in the first half? You know, we saw it in the second half, like I told you previously, before the other guy joined us. You know, you'll see in the VOD once you watch it back. Yay, amazing info play. He managed to get the Black Shard twice, but he didn't put a beacon down for the rest of you guys. And you'll see in the VOD that you had some opportunities, but it's all hindsight and good for me to say because I have that. I have an ops cam, but obviously
I don't think we had the same opportunities to back cap in the first half as we did in the second. Like we made 2 attempts, I believe, but the points that you can back cap on Shadespire,
yeah,
they're really a lot harder to hold.
Speaking of Shadespire, like you'll see in the VOD again, in the last minute or so, like there's maybe one person defending Shadespire. But obviously, you'll see in the VOD by comment, where's the TR intelligence? Why is there no one staying behind to say, oh, the VS are committed to Crux mining? Let's make a push, and you'll see that. You'll see what I mean. Obviously, you're not to know that, so hopefully you guys learn from that. But you did well to start getting that cheese and that defensive posture onto Crux mining and just holding out in general. And it's great to see that cohesion and that planning that you must have done to organize that kind of defense. And we honestly, the VS were very quick to transition and vehicles from Shadespire to Crux. They managed to bring more Magrider and Thunderers, and your pocket at the northern capture point maybe lasted maybe a minute. So it was very quick response by VS to get in there and essentially wipe you out. But your B pocket of defense was quite well done. VS not pushing in, TR not pushing on until the last few seconds. I will admit to you guys that I will agree with you that the first half was a lot more boring than the second half. And all I can say is to both teams, like the second half, that's what I like to see. Both teams played really well. Bommy, do you have anything else to say, or?
Oh, I agree. Second half was definitely interesting to watch. First one was okay, but second was surprisingly nice. Congrats to you, but that is all from my side.
Do you guys, Osprey, Path, Bob, have anything else to say, or?
Nope.
I think I had something I was supposed to say, but I forgot. So I'm just gonna say GG.
GG's.
Hey.
And thanks for casting, you two.
Thanks for casting, yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure. Have a good rest.
Yeah.
User left your channel.
So speaking of the future, the next KATS game will
User left
be
your channel.
on January 30th, and the next WFAT game will be on January the 31st. KATS playing Pray for Help and WFAT playing TLDR. Not too sure on the lanes as of two teams, but speaking again of the future, in 30 minutes we will have the game 4, which is Turtle versus Pray for Help. Turtle playing as VS and Pray for Help playing as TR
On a new lane.
on an
That's
Alton bio lane.
um,
Just a little pre-game. So let's have a look at the Alton. So on Indar,
yeah,
not
exactly.
something that you see in any sort of event normally. Going to be quite an interesting. So you're going to have Turtle starting as Alton Bio as VS, and we're going to have Pray for Help starting as TR and the Hacker Amp in the north. This is going to be quite an interesting lane. I've not seen this lane before. The neutral base being Indar Common Rate on a hill.
I suggested that, I have to say. At least I was one of the persons who suggested that lane. So if it's bad, reply to me.
So I am very interested to see how this lane goes on. It's going to be quite interesting because it's brand new. It's going to be quite good. I mean, obviously we have a biolab and an amp station. I mean, two big bases in the common rate in the middle. Oh, it's going to be. I think it's going to be like essentially a race to the hill, essentially king of the hill. But yeah, we'll let the casters and the teams of the match coming up in 30 minutes on this channel be the judge of that. So again, thanks to the refs, thanks to the admins, thanks to yourself, Bomb, for co-casting, to both teams for playing and for viewers for watching. As I've already said, I wish you guys a good night, and that is it from me.
Yes, see you.
Bye.
Good night, guys.